Hello everybody. When you're on my page, you might see some political satire, posts, videos, and I just want to give you an idea of what that's about, where that came from. And I fell asleep on the couch one night and I woke up in the middle of the night and there was this man on TV speaking. It was a book span that I just left on. I don't even know why that channel was on. And this man was talking and he was holding up his book that he was advertising for. It wasn't out yet. Left Illusions by David Horowitz. I don't know what it was that captivated me the way it did, but I've never been glued to the TV like I was over just political content like this. David Horowitz is a founder of the New Left movement in the 1960s. He's the nationally known author of Radical Son, Hating Whitey. He is the president of the Center for the Study of Popular Culture. In 1980, when Ronald Reagan was elected, he was awarded by Ronald Reagan the Teach Free Award. And that's funny because in the 60s, 70s, when Ronald Reagan was the governor of California and he was in Berkeley and the New Left was rising, he was a real thorn in the side of Ronald Reagan and the right-wing administration. Ronald Reagan, of course, everybody knows he was an actor first. And he was, I think at the time, or at one time, he definitely was a member of the Screen Actors Guild, but at some point, maybe even the president of the Screen Actors Guild. And he was very disillusioned, disenfranchised at some point with the movie business and started changing his politics. They turned on him. He couldn't get a role, and, that's another history and story. But this guy here rose up in the 60s. One of the big claim to fame is, he monetized the Black Panther Party. This guy here in the 60s went to the Panthers, said, hey, you guys got something here, if you guys, put down the guns, stop with the violence, and you guys got something here. You got an organization, a good movement. He helped them monetize and move forward their movement to what it became. The night that this book was being advertised, I was watching it, and the next day, then you didn't have the internet like you do now. Went right to the bookstores and found out that, that book's not even out yet. He was advertising that it'll be out. So what did? I did the next best thing. I started getting everything that I could and read that this guy wrote. This was the first one. It is his, autobiography, Radical Son. Talks about his parents coming over here and being Bolshevik, red doper diaper babies, as Michael Savage used to call them. But David Horowitz changed his mind along the line. He was, and I don't want to give the story away or anything, but it was just captivating. He was getting female friends, most likely feminist type people, jobs with the Panthers, and these girls, well, I'm not going to give it away. You got to read the book. These girls came up missing. He couldn't get anywhere to the bottom of what was happening to them, and he was very, very shocked and disillusioned to find out what was happening to these girls. Their bodies were washing up on the Potomac River, and you have to read it. But like the story goes so many times with the left, that if you don't agree with one of their ideas, if you even question one of their ideas, they will attack you. They eat their own. They're nasty. He taught me all about that. The next book that I could find was this book right here, Destructive Generation. In this book, he, chronicalizes the rise of the New Left in Berkeley, California. In this book, I was reading these books in 2002 is when I got onto this guy. In 2002, I was reading about William Ayers and Bernardine Dohrn. These guys are, if not founders, definitely were involved with and high up in the Weather Underground. We've also heard the stories of the Weather Underground. What was the Weather Underground? A resistance movement from the New Left that was uprising in Berkeley, California. They bombed Chicago, blew up one of their bomb-making buildings in New York City. I believe Bernardine Dohrn went to prison. She was involved in the murder of a Chicago cop, along with other people. She was released. You know these names because Barack Obama had William Ayers as his education secretary. Yes, an unrepentant domestic terrorist, as they call them, in our government. You can't make this up. So you want to read about what this guy's about, what our education system about right there. So these were the first two books. Okay, The Radical Son, David Horowitz, Destructive Generation. These were the two that I got my hands on first. Finally, they called me and said, "Hey, David, we got your book you ordered. Left Illusions." It came out months later after I'd read those ones. And just captivating stuff. It really, really is. But more than that, it's an education. This is such an education. It's, what I couldn't learn in school, definitely right here. But that's not it. That's not it. So through the years, I've always kept in with this guy. He's my favorite teacher and author. He wrote a wonderful book later, Morality and Faith. Now, at this point, I will tell you, David Horowitz, at least for a long time and from the start, is an atheist, okay? But he is an atheist who believes everybody should be able to worship how they want. He may have changed, he may even believe. The Black Book of the American Left is another, it's just a guide to what to be looking out for these. It tells their tricks, the lies, the 1984 type stuff. He takes a beating for being a new left, being on the new left. He is considered like a snitch, kind of. The thing is, right before the 2020 election, a book came out that he had written. And it was called Blitz. Trump will smash the left and win. So we all know that that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. We know that somehow from the basement in a nothing campaign, Joe Biden became our next president and beat Trump. When we went through Christmas this year, clean off our shelves to put decorations up and just clean in general, I pulled all these books down. And I haven't even thought about this since our last election, 2024 here. David Horowitz eventually came out to be right. When you see the stuff coming off of my page, I want you to know why the stuff's that you see on my channel, why it's there. It's not just I don't grab something, throw it up there. Free ideas, free thinkers. Think for yourself. Number 2, there's a God, there's not a God. Believe what you want to believe and let people alone that believe what they want to believe. Let them believe that. How does that hurt you? It doesn't. But one of the most important things that I got out of these books is, and when it comes to my vote, the vote for the President of the United States, it can only ever be for a conservative. Again, I don't vote for Donald Trump. I vote for the Republican president. Now, on my ballot, I'll mix it up, especially local. I have friends. My ballot's mixed. I don't vote ours across the board on any of them. Who's representing me, I want to know about. But my president has got to be a conservative who believes in our military and supports them and loves them and wants them to thrive. If he wants our military to thrive, we'll thrive. Just all there is to it. It's that simple. So I kind of it could be a part of my channel to do book reviews in general, because it's one of my favorite things to do is reading and talk about the books that I've read. If you have a book you'd like to talk about or like me to read, or you'd like to borrow any of my books, or reach out to me on here. Remember, like and subscribe. Check me out. Go America.